Wake up and let's go to the Mindless Morning Show.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mindless Morning Show. I'm here with my co-host, as always, Dakota.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, Dakota. All right.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
and with us today, we have the wonderful host of the For Better Self and Net Worth podcast, Ella Catherine. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm great. How about yourself?
Oh, we're here.
Pretty good.
You're just getting mindless?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to get mindless, like always.
Well, we have to get better. We're here to better ourselves and our mindlessness today with you.
Well, nice. Well,
mindful.
Yep.
hey, really excited to be on the show. I've listened to the guests that you guys have had. I think it's an amazing show. You guys bring out a lot of entertainment. You've got something for everybody on this show.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Man, I'm all flustered now. You just threw me off my groove. I don't even know what to ask anymore. I've been like, tell me more.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. So what got you into podcasting? Is it the pandemic?
It wasn't just the pandemic. To be honest, I have daydreamed about podcasting about a year before the idea of having my own show. I was waiting to find the perfect co-host, honestly, and then call it the Budget Babes. And we talk about what things we save money on, how we budget, because everybody's got a budget. I don't care how much money you're making or how to get the most out of your money, making it work for you. What's a good deal? What's a ripoff? Analyzing that. That was my daydream. And I just kind of had an epiphany. It was the pandemic to say, okay, stop waiting for stuff to happen. Make it happen yourself. And that's when I started the show. I love talking about like getting the best deal. I love talking about shopping, how to negotiate, how to pay down all your debt, how to live the life you want without worrying about finances. But it started when I started doing the podcast, the topics I got passionate about. I found myself talking about life in general, the people that you hang out with, the mindset that you have going into life, and just how to better what's around you. So for better self, being the best version of yourself, and net worth, because I'm wanting to use that podcast as a space for entrepreneurs, for business owners, for dream chasers, to talk about how they built the life that they dreamed of using the podcast. Or not using the podcast, but they're using the podcast to talk about the life that they dreamed of.
Oh, I was going to say, please tell me. I need to know all these secrets. I'm going to launch this podcast to like 5 different lifestyles right now.
Right. And you can be the next, who knows, like Joe Rogan, where did he come from? Or Lewis House. Lewis House is a professional.
I mean, Joe Rogan, he started, I think, MMA purely.
He was a comedian, wasn't he? I thought he was like stand-up comedian and then MMA, and he was on.
I don't know what came first. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean,
I thought he was like an actor, comedian.
He did a lot of different things. He probably was an entrepreneur prior or something. Had his hands into a lot of things, but
yeah.
I mean, I would like that. I would not mind making like $30 million a year that he makes on his podcast. Like,
right?
I was gonna say to somebody like, I would mind that. I don't want that. Like,
yeah. No, don't worry. I'm only taking enough to get what I need, and then the rest is just I'm throwing away. I don't need it. I'm not throwing it away. I'm going to donate it to charity. Like,
I was like, where are you throwing this money?
I might do my little Joker scene, light it on fire.
Yeah, a lot of times you throw it into the podcast.
Yeah,
based on the sound, what you wear, getting guests. I mean, you can get paid, but what I have the one sponsor, and I'll make Starbucks money off of it. That's what I'll say. I'll make enough to buy the latte.
Starbucks money. I know people that spend a lot of money at Starbucks.
Yeah,
I'm ready for that Starbucks money.
Or avocado toast money, they say.
Avocado toast. Hey, avocado toast is bomb.
I was like,
good.
Yeah, if you put like, really you take hard-boiled egg, scramble it up with some mayo and everything else, salt, pepper, put that in with the avocado toast. Bomb.
Yeah, so I did.
Speaking of food, that's something that you talk about on your podcast too, right? Is food?
Mm-hmm. I am a self-titled foodie. That's one thing I do love to spend money on, because I travel a lot for my job and just for personal. And one thing I do love about it is trying new different types of food.
Okay.
In the experience. And a lot of experiences around food, and the food that you eat is going to nurture your body and your mind. So I just find it very important to invest into good quality food and not, and if you go to McDonald's one every now and then, there's nothing wrong with that, but you don't want that to be your everyday diet. Or
Right.
I personally do want Five Guys burgers to be my everyday diet. It is so good. But yes, no, you're absolutely right. I would have clogged arteries and live to about tomorrow if that were my case. I definitely have found a lot of healthy foods that do taste good, and I've always been like no, I'm a carnivore, I need the meats. Like,
You still can though.
yeah, but even then, there's still some times like, and people say like, oh, that's rabbit food. I like this rabbit food, it tastes good.
Yeah.
It's
a
good.
lot of it's mindset. If you tell yourself something tastes awful, it's disgusting, you're going to think it's disgusting. Brussels sprouts. I don't know why people have hated on Brussels sprouts for so long, because if they are cooked properly and crispy enough, they're absolutely amazing.
I'll eat them raw. They're
that's
so
what
good.
Jordan tells me that all the time. She's like, Brussels sprouts are so good. And I'm like, I don't want veggie testicles.
I'm going to call them that sometime. It's what it's fun with kids.
Dude, I've never heard that.
I ate a chicken heart this week.
How'd you like that?
I put my fork in it, and as I kept trying to get my fork in it, it looked like the heart was beating.
Oh no.
Ooh.
So
No.
that didn't set it up for the right taste. I took a bite of it. It just tasted dirty.
Oh,
It
man.
just wasn't, it was too chewy for me. Somebody said if they're cooked right, they're excellent, but that just.
I was practically traumatized because I remember on a Thanksgiving, my grandma had like that little two-pronged fork. She grabbed a turkey heart out of it with it, and she's like, "Oh, there's a turkey heart. You want it?" And I was like, "No," and she just straight up eats it off. I was like, "What the fuck? No,
Grandma, no."
Yeah.
No.
So
Or when
I
they-
know. What's
When
that?
they reach up the turkey's butt, you have to put your hand up the turkey's butt and get all the innards.
Mhm.
Is there-
Yeah. That was always weird to me, but I like stuffing is the absolute best part of Thanksgiving for me. Like,
Yeah.
I could live off that one food. It's so good.
Dude, it's always mashed potatoes and gravy for me. That's what I like the best.
Yeah, those are good. But stuffing, I feel like I only get that one time a year. Mashed potatoes, you can throw them in whenever.
It's true. That's true. That's true. But
For me,
so,
it's
go ahead.
dinner mashed potatoes and then dinner rolls,
Yeah.
fluffy
Ooh.
bread with
Do you have
butter.
a bread machine?
I don't have a bread machine.
No.
Should I get one?
You should. You should totally invest in one. It is the best thing we've ever done because we make pizza crust, pizza roll, or not pizza rolls. Just like bread rolls for sandwiches or anything really.
Where did you get a bread machine? I didn't know this was a thing. Like you had to
What?
make
Yeah.
the bread by hand.
No, dude. Amazon has it.
Amazon. All right. Wait.
Literally, like that's what its logo has A to Z for. It anything from A to Z.
It's true.
But
Speaking of healthy, I've got this garden here.
Whoa.
nice.
That's cool.
Chives. I had a tomato plant, but it got too long.
I thought you were showing us like a different type of hydroponic garden over there.
That's not legal in Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Allegedly, that might be in the garage.
She's
Yeah.
smart and has the tags as thyme and chives so that they don't know.
It's true. Yep, but yeah, the bread machine, super awesome, and you can make more things than just bread. You can make yogurts, you can make wines, you can make
How'd you
Wine?
go from with
Yeah.
the bread maker? How'd you go from bread to yogurt and then wine?
That's what I asked when I saw all the settings on this thing. I was like, what the hell?
And you still don't know the answer. It just does it.
And it just does it, dude, because it's the same little vat it goes into, which is really just a little thing in a paddle.
I thought the air fryer was the jack of all trades.
That's
love
that's honestly an amazing
there.
one. And I will say I did the unthinkable. I tested a steak in an air fryer.
Mhm.
Oh, it works, man.
It's
You can do
phenomenal.
anything. Yeah,
Good.
you can do anything. I've done a whole pork loin in there, like that big. Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah,
Solid.
and I am so sorry. We're totally getting into food. That is like the fat boy in me. Let me derail that by asking you. So, where did the story of Ella start? Where does it all begin?
I guess I would say there's a hard way to pinpoint it. I remember I first started listening to podcasts when I started my job. I drive all over Tennessee, Mississippi, Kentucky, all over the states. So I've had a lot of time in my car to hear the podcast and think, I want to do that. I want to interview people. And then I also think back into college, there was this app on MySpace where you did superlatives. And everybody voted me most likely to host your own talk show.
Nice. And you're like,
As
hey.
I love that. I love to make a living just talking to people, interviewing people, entertaining people. I grew up in a really small town. It said, okay, you've got to go to college, you've got to get a business degree, or you got to get some kind of degree, or you're going to be poor and stuck in East Tennessee for the rest of your life. And I didn't really go for my actual dream because I just felt limited. And back then there wasn't a lot of social media. There wasn't a lot of platforms that I could make for myself. And it's just kind of an awakening. I have a friend who I kind of grew up with that lived in the same town as I did, went to the same school as I did. She's made a huge name for herself on social media and just taking great photos, talking about the products that she likes. And I see this and I said, it's that easy that you can just get on social media, inspire people, motivate people. That's, as a trainer, that's what I love to do, is just inspire people, motivate them, try to get them to do something better, go for what they want instead of staying in a negative mindset. And when I see that people are doing this on social media and actually making money off of it, I just thought, why not me?
It's a good mindset.
Yeah.
Anybody can do anything as long as they do put their mind to it and put the work into it, the effort too. So I mean, that's always the biggest thing. Is it's good.
Yeah.
To accomplish that and definitely to inspire others along the way is another good feat to do.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Spreading that positivity is always awesome.
Well, thanks. I think we're all here with a purpose, and it's just finding that purpose. And I think, for the three of us who have podcasts, we've got a purpose out there and we need to fulfill it. We're almost selfish for not fulfilling it.
It could be true.
Yep.
I don't know my purpose. I'd like to say it's just to bring some laughs, because that's really all I like to have in the world.
Yeah. Laughter's so important.
It was that easy.
I know, I guess. It's got to be. It's got to be that easy.
I don't want to live one day on this earth without laughing at something. And when I belly laugh, it's so much better. Just
yeah. And there is a famous quote, and I don't remember who says it right now. And it's something, a day without laughter is a day wasted.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
100%.
I want to say it's Dalai Lama, but honestly, I don't remember. Damn. Yeah, I was like literally looking at it today, and I don't remember. But yeah, I love laughing, being funny, and I mean I try to be funny.
Charlie Chaplin.
Oh shit, Charlie Chaplin.
You were so close with the Dalai Lama.
So close.
They're like the same.
Yeah.
Hey,
Very close.
it's probably been said before. A lot of the famous quotes, they've been said in another way. It's just one person that coined it.
Very true. Very, very true.
And they're in their own experiences and things like that. So
Yeah.
So speaking of experiences, what are your experiences with being a budget babe?
My experiences kind of go back to first living on my own. I remember, and I had part-time jobs through high school and college, but I remember seeing my first paycheck. I got this great job at the ad agency. They told me what I was going to be making, so I already divided it out, knew what I'd be having, and knew what I could live with. But I remember seeing my first paycheck, how much was taken out with taxes, how much was taken out just with insurance. And I saw that and I said, oh, wow, I'm legit paying my rent, my electricity, food, and then they're supposed to be able to go out on this kind of money.
Yeah.
And what they say is you should do the job that makes you happy, not just for what makes money.
Right.
I'll be fully transparent. Yeah, I want to be happy with my job, but why not both? Why not be happy with what you're doing and make money?
Yeah, true.
That's the key.
Yeah, ultimately. I mean, I had a job at one point that I was making really good money. I couldn't complain as far as money goes, but I was not at all happy. And
Yeah.
now I'm happier than a pig and shit. I mean, I'm not making the same amount of money, but God, I don't give a shit.
I thought pigs just like mud, not shit.
Maybe.
The second job I had right out of college, I was selling phones and I made decent money, but I had absolutely no life outside work.
Yeah.
And so what's the point?
I mean, it's like, what was the biggest thing? We all like strive to be able to pay for a big house to live in or a nice house to live in when 75% of the time we're not even there to do anything in it because we're all out working, you know?
Yeah.
It
If we're
depends
not
on the
sleeping in it.
person too. Yeah, because there are some people that they don't want families, they don't want relationships, they don't want kids.
Mm-hmm. I'm there. Like, there are days I'm just kind of like, do I really want that?
Yeah.
Like companionship, or I want companionship, but I can't be in a relationship where I constantly have to tell somebody what I'm doing the whole time or report back to them. You know, I like my freedom.
So let's turn this into like like a whole dating profile. We'll see what mindless listeners out there, and no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I like long walks on the beach.
Who doesn't?
And something I like to make a point on my podcast is you don't have to live the life everyone else is having.
Yeah.
Don't compare it.
Stop comparing yourself. You know, happiness comes from your personal experiences, comes from within. Stop waiting on something else or someone else to make your life happy.
100%. And I feel that's a big thing, like especially with social media, that has basically been the source of so many people having like depression and just things of like feeling not as worth because they see these like ridiculous people that I don't even think they exist. I feel like
Dude,
they're photoshopped.
half of those posts are fake anyways, man.
Yeah, like I don't believe like half of them. I'm just like, I don't even think these people are real.
Yeah.
Like, who talks to them? I don't think anybody's ever seen them. So to me, it's just one of those things that like, I don't like social media. I hate social media, but it's unfortunately with like the one and only thing to like get any type of like notoriety out there, like get any kind of exposure and market yourself. It's basically prime platform of marketing. And it's a shame, but it is what it is. And I mean,
Yeah.
what can you do?
Yeah.
Well, what about the good part of social media? That's how we all connected. You're connecting with other people.
Not all bad.
Yeah, you're connecting with like-minded people who want to do what you want to do, who have the same goals as you. I knew nothing about, paranormal. I knew a little bit, like I love scary movies, but some of the paranormal podcasts that I'm connected to, I'm learning so much about it.
Yeah.
And I'm a history junkie. I love watching the History Channel. I grew up, that was my best subject, but now I'm learning so many other aspects of history, local. Like there's probably something that happened in the house that I live in now that I don't know about. And these people are out here doing so much research and we're honoring everyday people through that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Social
Very
media
true.
gives people an outlet. There's Go Budget Girl. She talked about how she paid off all her debt and how she made it super simple. A lot of people use it to make themselves look relatable. Even, there's, 20 billionaires out there who, built an empire by being famous or writing books or whatnot. And they talk about how relatable they are. Maybe not necessarily relatable to us, but there are people out there who are. So, and it's a way of connection.
For sure.
For generation.
Yeah, there always is a flip side to every coin. So, I mean, even with social media having its negatives, there's definitely some positives. And it's like that with a majority of things. There's always a flip to each.
Yeah. It's all about the perspective, you know?
That too.
Yeah.
Choosing to know what you want to focus on as far as negative or positive is ideal as well.
But and I see what you mean about people who are, they're not posting in their pajamas. They're full makeup. I know with women, it's like full makeup, eyelashes. I talked with Carissa on the Beauty Unlocked podcast. There's people you don't see what they look like when they get out of bed in the morning or around their house. They're just, wearing the nicest things. And it is about image a lot of times.
Yeah. Or the Instagram posts where it's like the post versus reality, and you'd see what it actually looks like. Or I don't know. I've seen some of the Instagram models where one of them came out and showed what she actually looks like, and all of her pictures, she like sucks it in super like to where she looks like it, and she's sitting there and looks completely different. She's like, nope, this is what we look like. That's crazy.
I need to know how she did that, because I took beautiful photos of the mountains were gorgeous. And I, of course I didn't put on makeup or wear my Spanx to go hiking. And then I look at the photos, I'm like, oh, my hair's not brushed. I look a hot mess. Should I really post this? I might just go ahead and post it later.
Yeah. Are you ready for a picture? No, give me about 30 minutes. I got to get ready for the picture real quick.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, I guess, whatever to feel comfortable as your own self. I mean, I have this beautiful chin.
A very impressive goatee.
The beard hides all of the bad stuff underneath.
Yeah, like I barely have like a chin. It's like way down here. So it's like such a little baby chin. So this just it's better.
It's better. Let's stop talking about it. I'm getting insecure.
So where do you plan to take the podcast, and what are your goals with it?
So I want the podcast to be a space where people can come talk about what they're passionate about, to help entrepreneurs kind of promote their business. It's really just a space to talk about what you love doing. I'm surrounded by a lot of friends who are successful entrepreneurs who've gotten to work for themselves. I want them to be able to talk about that and how other people can kind of follow their dreams. And I also want to, and I've been in the works of it, I also want to write a book.
Nice.
I've always wanted to be a writer. I'm that kind of person. I have a lot of creative energy. Teachers would talk about, they didn't talk about how cooperative I was. They talked about how creative I was and how I preferred to entertain people than pay attention in class. I think that's just my energy, is I want to entertain people. I want to give people a space to be themselves, talk about what their passions are. Carissa and I, a couple episodes ago, we talked about the beauty industry and how devious it was. And then I had a lady, her name was Suzanne Powell. She's from Lexington, Kentucky, and she had a lot of hardships in her earlier years. And now she's extremely wealthy, works as a financial advisor, and is writing a book called Money Moves for Women Over 50. She got to come talk about her book. And who else? Yeah, I feel like I had another interview recently, but yeah, I like giving people a space to be themselves, talk about their successes, and to kind of cheer other people on, because a lot of times when you see someone that is successful, they're like, oh, their parents paid for that, or, she's probably struggling. Women especially, we tend to downplay each other. We tend to underestimate each other. I just want people to kind of want to step into their power. Right. And also not be afraid to brag, not be afraid to say, look, I did this. I'm amazing. I grew my business to 7 figures this year. Let's celebrate this. Or say, hey, I just wrote my first book. I want people to buy it. Come out there and promote yourself. Give your space to talk about yourself and promote yourself, because I feel like we're kind of taught as a society. It's like, okay, don't brag. Don't brag.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's okay. And it's like, find yourself inspired by people that you feel envious of, instead of feeling envious of them and writing them off.
Right. And you could definitely write. Dakota's done it.
Yeah, if I can do it, anybody can do it, honestly.
You read a book?
I wasn't saying it in that sense.
I mean, I am. So yeah, I self-published a book last June. June 30th of 2020 is my first self-published book. So a sci-fi, I don't even know the first in the epic saga that I'm writing.
That's cool. Science fiction's my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite
Yeah,
genre.
it's pretty fun. It's pretty crazy and all about alien species, and it alternates between two. And then the next book will be two other alien species, and eventually they'll all come together. And yeah, it's exciting.
That's cool.
But I'm like what you just talked about, and I have a hard time talking about myself and bragging about myself.
Yeah,
it's good though to have that bit of like confidence. It's more so confidence in yourself. Like there's a fine line between confidence and cocky. Like if you're just out there strutting and being like, oh, I'm fucking better than you. All right, okay, cool. But if you're like, no, look at what I did. I'm proud of this. Fuck yeah, go me. Good for you. Yeah. That's a confidence. Like honestly,
That's true.
A lot of people call Kanye crazy. I commend him a lot for the amount of confidence that dude has in himself. No matter how crazy he comes off.
But you just jumped back to that cocky side. Like he's so cocky and arrogant though too.
He has been. Yeah, he has been. But in a lot of the things he does, it's just purely self-confidence in himself. Like kudos to him, man, because like I don't have that.
It's for the publicity.
Whenever I go into a presentation at work, or if I'm meeting with somebody that's higher up with the company, I will sometimes listen to Kanye West to get that energy going.
There you go.
And I had a coworker tell me to listen to DMX before a presentation.
Yeah. You walk into that presentation like just barking, just be like,
sticks his hand out. You're like, oh, sorry. I was just listening to some DMX. I'm a little hyped.
You guys ready to sell some shit? Let's go.
Let's do this.
Like, just get crazy with it. You might as well. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Really
awesome.
But as far as cockiness goes, cockiness is not confidence. Cockiness is wearing a mask. It's usually, I dated a guy that was extremely arrogant, and at 19 years old, I thought that was really attractive. I'm like, oh, he really likes himself. And he's a frat guy. He drives a nice car. Just the things that 19-year-olds look for in a companion, not necessarily companionship, but they look for somebody that, I don't know, same reason why some guys want trophy wives, like the arm candy. And what I didn't realize at the time, but I realize now, I was like, okay, this guy treated me terribly because he didn't like himself.
Yeah, that's usually what it stems down to.
Most men aren't made till after high school, ladies. So just stop looking until then.
Yeah, it's rare.
Absolutely honest. So. Yeah.
In high school, it's high school. You get friend zoned. I was one of the guys that got friend zoned for a while in high school because I was like, he treats you bad, don't do it.
In the Kermit the Frog voice.
Yeah, I would do the Kermit the Frog voice and made it worse too. Sitting in the corner, no.
Please, Kermit, he's so beautiful. Oh shit! So. What are some things you do to save and work on a budget, if you don't mind us asking?
Oh, not at all. There's a ton of apps out there. I use Every Dollar. And I've come to notice that not all budgeting experts, I guess you would call them, they're not one size fits all. So of course there's, Dave Ramsey out there that says, hey, don't buy anything with a credit card. How are you going to buy a new car with cash? Most people can't, but I'm like, okay, well, I'll buy something that can pay off in 2 years. Or something I have to do is it's a lot of discipline too, because I have a tendency to spend a lot of money on groceries, food, going out. And I will actually look at the menu and plan ahead. If I go to a 4-star restaurant, I'm going to go in knowing what I'm going to spend. I look at my bank account every single day. I always have a savings account with at least $1,000 in it, just as a cushion in case an unexpected expense comes up. I just had to get my air conditioning fixed. It was actually a lot less than I thought it was going to be because I had a warranty on the car, but I had that money saved up just in case. I know animal emergencies.
You have pets?
I have a cat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I've had to take him to the vet, just with his respiratory, he has a lot of respiratory issues and, x-rays, scans, abdominal scans, it adds up what you pay for your pets. So just all in all preparation, know I'm going to spend each day. Something else is I do love to shop. I love having nice clothes, but I limit myself. I said, okay, if I go to TJ Maxx, I'm going to put myself at $100 cap. And realistically, it's all in planning. You may just plan it by the week and say, okay, what are my expenses? What are my bills? List those first. List my rent. That's the biggest chunk. List what my car payment is, what my, if you have credit card payments, listing those. I do prefer not to use a credit card, but if I do, it's going to be something I can pay off within a couple of weeks, but we're all human. And there's a lot of things like renting a car, hotel rooms that are just safer to do on a credit card than they are.
I'm not gonna lie, I've rarely used a credit card just because I know myself.
Yeah.
Fucking max that thing out. You want payment? Maybe later, dude. So it's just it never really works out. But I've done really well for myself building credit via doing payment plans with things like with the firm and stuff like that for ticket items like a kid swing set or a grill or lawnmower, anything big that usually costs a couple $100. Instead of dropping so much money, I'll just do no interest rates if paid off in this amount of time. Cool, I can do that. Boom, pay it off, builds credit. Good, works out.
There's a lot of great ways, even more so than ever, to pay for something that doesn't touch your credit.
Yeah.
Or if you do want to build your credit, just pay with something, do something within reason. I know for me, it's the same reason I don't do credit cards. It's because I have that self-awareness. If I wanted to go out to Chanel and buy a Chanel bag with a credit card, yeah, I can pay it off or I can just let it sit there until I pay it off.
Right.
That's a whole different struggle you have. And, guys, I don't care about a Chanel bag. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. I know it's expensive and crazy.
Yeah.
For guys, it's like shoes, like Jordans, man. There's some big sneakerheads, man.
Oh.
I know that's true because I had a buddy that had an entire closet. Dude. It was actually his pantry that he turned into a shoe closet. His wife was like, "Do you see this bullshit? This motherfucker has more shoes than me."
Yeah. Sneakerheads are wild, man.
I don't
shoes are an investment. My company gave me, so my company, they have a thing where they give you shoes for top achievements. Okay. And they gave me these Nike Airs. And I had my trail shoes, my hiking shoes. I already got those dirty on the trail. But when I went home, I got to walk through the airport in these, Nike Airs that I wouldn't have bought for myself. But now I know.
They're good shoes. Nikes are where it's at.
Yeah.
I don't wear anything else. I've always worn Nikes.
That's
really?
I'm a basketball guy, man. I've been Nike.
What does that have to do with anything?
Dude, because they're comfy and they're supportive and they don't break my ankles when I'm playing in them.
I mean, so I've only worn
high top, the Air Force, man's Nike Air Force. Those were my jam.
I've mostly worn skate shoes, and I go to Ross. I'll straight up go to Ross and get $20, $30 shoes, and I'm good for the next 2 to 3 years. And
I was skate shoes like Vans, Converse before I started playing basketball, and then once I started playing basketball, it was all.
I never liked Nike. Converse, Audios, and things like that. DC shoes, they always had that nice, comfy fluff to them. It was like walking on clouds.
Did you ever have Airwalks?
I never had Airwalks, but I knew people that did.
Yeah,
I had moon boots.
Yeah, moon boots. I didn't know.
Boots.
Those are the things with the springs.
Yes.
That's dope.
How high did you jump really high in them?
I jumped so high I fell. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you get to the moon?
No, No, fortunately not. It was false advertising, really. So should suit.
So going back to money stuff, we saw one of your posts about splurging on yourself. So when you get enough money to splurge on yourself, what do you splurge on?
That's a good one. Right now, it's, we talked about food earlier, traveling.
Ooh, yeah, traveling.
Yeah. So I've been saving up a couple $100 every month to plan a trip to Mexico in October because that's an experience. Yeah, you pay for it, but you get the photos, you get the memories of it. You immerse yourself into a different culture. I always bond with people that I meet in airports. It's so random, but there's people who I meet in airports that knew my soul.
That's
that I'll never see again. Yeah.
I knew your soul. I've never heard that expression. I need this explained.
You've never had an airport buddy?
I have flown maybe 3 times, and like I avoid everybody. I'm the guy in the corner, like.
Yeah, and then there's the guy in the other opposite corner of you that's doing the same thing, and you lock eyes. You lock eyes for that brief like 4 seconds, and you're like, yeah.
This area is secured.
There are times where I just want to take a book and wear these Beats by Dre headphones. I don't even know if they still work or not, just so I don't have to talk to other people. But just the experiences and memories that I make traveling, those are just generally turns out to be the peaks of my year. So I like to invest in that. And, I do like to wear, I'm a big fan of outfits. I like to stand out in what I wear. Now, when I say I splurge on clothes, am I paying $150 for a pair of jeans? No. But it's a way of treating myself. Let's see. And also I'm going to try acupuncture for the first time in a couple weeks. Ooh. So self-care is a good splurge for me. My biggest splurge is probably my rent because I live in Nashville. It's a hot city. I have no choice but to splurge on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look with acupuncture. I've always been scared of that.
Me too, but I've heard it's like super helpful. Like I'm
great things about it.
I know, but I've heard amazing things. Everybody says it's great. I don't want to do it.
Dude, like I don't even like going to get like any kind of shot, needles, blood work. I'll do tattoos all day.
Yeah, you tattoo yourself. But so if you acupunctured yourself, would you do it?
Oh, I don't think I could do that to myself.
I don't even think. Yeah. It's easy to tattoo yourself. I think it's a lot easier to tattoo yourself than people realize. Once they start doing it, like you're in it, you're good. Acupuncture, I don't even think I could put one needle in. I'd be like, nah, I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. No thanks. No thanks.
When I got my COVID shot, the nurse had to talk me down, and they're used to that because I have a weird phobia of needles as well. I think it's because I read a story when I was a kid about people stepping on infected needles, HIV infected needles in the Jersey Shore. There's a big story about that. But yeah, I've had where the nurse had to kind of hold me down to give me a shot and talk to me like I'm 3 years old. Okay, Ella, it's okay. It's okay.
Nice.
But fears are meant to be conquered.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how we conquer them. They're meant to be conquered.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely would I had to get my flu shot, and I haven't gotten a flu shot years prior to it. And this was like a year and a half ago. And I was like freaking out. I was like, man, I'm starting to sweat. I'm sitting in the chair. The nurse comes in. And she's like, all right, you ready? And I was like, yeah, all right, go. And I was like, go. And she's like, I'm done. And I'm like, really? I was like, I didn't feel that at all.
I was like, she's cool. Standing there holding a lollipop for you.
Dude, I didn't feel it at all. It was great. And my wife was like, you're such a baby for no reason. I was like, hey, you never know. I don't know. I don't like it.
My last needle experience was, I guess before COVID, was when I had to get that ingrown toenail taken care of. And oh man, I don't ever want to do that again. That was not only that, like they put the shot in, the first one was good. And then he did the next shot and he hit the bottom, like tendon part, and I like karate kicked, like, and the doctor like moved out of the way and we both looked at each other.
Yeah.
I was like,
you want to keep going, John?
I was like, I'm so sorry. He's like, I didn't expect that. I was like, Me either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stepped on, it's 2 years ago, I stepped on a sea urchin in the Dominican Republic.
Ooh, those hurt, don't
They
they?
had to take the doctor had to take the needles out to have surgery. It cost $500 though. Speaking of budgeting, it only cost me $500 to have surgery in the DR.
Where in DR were you?
I was at Puerto Plata.
But that is the only place I've actually ever been to out of the country is Dominican Republic, Puerto Plata. I stayed at the Grand Ventana Hotel.
Mhm.
Great resort, all inclusive, and man, I love their bartenders. Their bartenders loved me. Like every morning, I'm waking up, I'm walking out to the pool bar. Hey, because back in the U.S. I wasn't legal yet, but here, they didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, how's it going? So I just got drinking. It was great.
So
All inclusive is where it's at.
can
Yes.
you like describe how this happened? I'm like what was the pain level when you stepped on it? Like what happened? How did it happen? Walk me through it. I want to know what happened.
So I wanted to go kayaking in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And, as I was kayaking, I kayak in the lake all the time. Here in Tennessee, we have a lot of lakes, and rivers. But in the DR, I was kayaking through the ocean. I felt my kayak get stuck on something. So I was getting out of the rock. Well, I wasn't even thinking about it. They told us to be careful around the rocks. I stepped right on one of those bad boys. 25 pins in my foot, all up to kind of past my ankles.
Dang.
And that pain, and I knew there were needles. I was like, did I step on a plant? Did I step on something? But it was, you felt the poison just going up into your leg.
Oh,
Was
was it like a numbing or burning pain?
It wasn't a numbing pain. It was a sharp, I would say a burning pain, slightly burning pain. And the first thing I do is I lay down, I put sand on it because that's what I was taught with jellyfish. If you get some by jellyfish, rub sand into it. And the locals, rub sand onto the jellyfish sting.
You're supposed to pee on it.
That's what I thought.
I tried that too. But with the sea urchin, I was right. And they're like, no. So they come out. One of the ladies that was the vendors that was selling something. She comes out, she just pours straight rum on my foot.
Ooh. Shit.
Did that help
that's how you know
intensify it?
Well, I told her to give me some rum to drink just so I could be too drunk to feel it.
Mm-hmm. Now, when they pour the alcohol over it, that's how you know it's serious.
Yeah, they just poured rum that could have been consumed through the mouth was poured onto my foot.
It's borderline alcohol poisoning or alcohol abuse, but I will let it go only because it was for the greater good.
For the greater good.
She was like, "No, your foot needs to get drunk right now, sweetie, not you."
I mean, if that was possible, honestly, I'd probably just take a bath in alcohol at that point.
Yeah,
and just soak it up.
I mean, if you sat this way, I'll talk it. But if you bathed in alcohol long enough, would you get drunk? Would it seep into your skin?
I mean, I felt I was not in. What does it say? Yeah, I wasn't with it when that happened. I think I was just kind of going through all the shock and then having to get shots.
Yeah, I can imagine. I would. Ugh.
Yeah. Trying to muster up any Spanish that I knew to communicate with the doctor.
Help! Pretty universal. Help! No. Yeah. No. I don't think I would know how to ask for help. And I'm trying to think. My wife would be mad. She's Spanish. I really don't think I know how to say help in Spanish or anything, or if there's even a word for.
I was gonna say one, but I don't want to make a fool of myself. So
do it.
No,
I do it. It's a mindless show, man.
Yeah, but I'm
Bermuda.
Ayuda. That's how you ask for
Ayuda. See, that's not what I was gonna say.
Ayuda.
I
don't think I've ever heard that.
Ayuda.
What were you gonna say? Ándale.
Y se puede, pero.
Si se puede. That's
I
we
was
can
like,
do
"God,
it.
dude." It's like, I know that's not it.
Yeah.
You're
Or
looking
no.
at the doctor. Si se puede.
I mean,
Si se puede is yes, we can.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't think it means what I think it does.
Yeah.
or just point to my foot and say, no bueno, no bueno. They knew
Yeah.
what was going on.
Yeah. No bueno. Ow. Mucho gusto.
Man.
Pain hablo. Pain hablo. So, back to food. That peach shortcake looked really good.
Oh, thank you.
That you had posted. I'm gonna need you to send some to us. That'd be great.
You know what I did? I took boxed cake mix, just made one of those, and it was the Aldi brand. It wasn't even Betty Crocker.
Aldi is the shit.
Dude,
Yes.
They're not
Aldi
my
is
sponsor
amazing
yet.
for your
but
budget.
They're great. Yes.
Yeah. I would love nothing more than to be like a Instagram chef and just have these Aldi or Trader Joe's, Publix, whoever wants to come at me first to
There you go.
sponsor.
Right.
Dude.
Shout out, hashtag sponsor us. What?
Sponsor us, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would cook all day if Aldi sponsored me. Like, here, cook the. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Let's do
All
it.
right, sweet. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I would blow all these up, man. I love all
Yeah.
these.
But-
I've always shot there.
But what I do is if I serve any kind of dessert with peaches, I crumble some little brown sugar on top of it. And that's all. That's all it was, is fresh pizzas. Pizzas. Fresh peaches. That cake
Fresh
and some whipped
pizza.
cream. Dairy free for me.
Nice.
Oh, dairy free. Okay.
Okay.
Lactose
Intolerant. Yeah.
I was just thinking the other day as I had this ridiculous bowl of ice cream. Man, I feel really bad. I feel really bad.
Damn.
But there is that lactate ice cream
Yeah,
now.
they got stuff.
Yeah.
They got stuff.
Because my daughter is lactose intolerant, so I feel bad for her.
As you're like, as I sat there eating this ridiculous bowl, you're just staring at your daughter like, "Man, I'm sorry." That sucks.
Basically, that's how it went down.
Has she tried oat milk?
Goat milk or oat milk?
Oat
milk.
Get rid of the G.
No, I don't. I mean, we've had like the oat cereal, or it's like little toddler cereal because she's only 2 right now.
Oh, so she has to do. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
isn't the majority of cereals already oats?
I don't know, dude. I mean, fuck.
Like oats,
There's
corn.
like rice cereal. Like there's so many different types of cereals for kids that
granola.
like, I was just like, I don't even know what this shit is. I don't think I was ever fed this. Why would I feed my kid this? Like,
I'm going back to my bowl of ice cream.
yeah, I don't know. I try to like throw a steak at my kid. She doesn't really eat it though. It doesn't work.
That'll take a while. But oat milk has that same creaminess as regular milk. Dunkin' Donuts offers oat milk as one of their milk substitutes.
Oh,
It's the closest to a real latte that I can drink.
nice.
I mean,
Big
I
coffee
do like coffee. I really like coffee black, to be honest.
I do too.
It's really it can be really good.
I've never been able to acquire the taste for coffee. Anything coffee, I'm just I can't do it.
I drank
It
my
was-
mom's coffee as a kid.
See, I never drank coffee as a kid. Actually, for a long time, I didn't drink coffee, and I'm mad because there was a tour I went on in a village of Dominican Republic where we went to this lady's house, and she's like making like coffee from scratch, from the plant to her kitchen outside into this cup, and it smelled so good. But I wanted absolutely nothing to do with it because I at that time still hated coffee. And I wish I had tried it because I probably would have liked it. But
Yeah.
See, I still would have tried it because it would have been there.
Dominican-
Real coffee.
Yeah.
I took the
Dominican
hot
Republic-
cocoa instead.
Oh, yeah. I'll say this Dominican Republic coffee is really chalky.
Oh, okay.
I bought people coffee back from the DR. I personally didn't like it, but
Well, so what was like one things you liked most about DR?
I think I like the people in the DR. I mean, everybody kind of lives as a community.
Yeah.
So here, and I mean, most people in the DR are living in poverty, but they live as a community. They kind of look out for each other. Here, it's like everybody's kind of in it for themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
one thing I always remember is just the avocados and the mangoes. We talk about food. I will not eat mango in the States because I know what a fresh mango needs to taste like. And I still love avocados when I can get a good avocado.
Mhm.
But the avocados that they had in the DR, fresh off the tree, they're lime green.
Yeah.
Like bright green.
They're like what you see on pictures that
Inside
like,
of them.
aren't altered. It's crazy.
Man,
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been missing out.
So good. And I also like that you kind of get best of both worlds in the DR. There's mountains
Yeah.
and then there's beaches. And the one thing also I noticed in the DR is, we have ways to go as a nation in some things, but they are living in almost a segregated community as far as like the Dominicans from the Haitians. They still don't talk to each other for the most part. There's still a lot of racism in that country. And it kind of opened my eyes to see that there were people still being segregated in parts of the world.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, it's definitely everywhere still. Or not everywhere, but a lot of places that. I mean, I really don't feel like there's too many people very familiar with geography. I mean, I know I suck at geography. Like,
Terrible at it.
Yeah.
you could tell me like a lot of places. I probably couldn't even name all 50 states. I'm not even gonna lie. It'll take me a while if I
just gotta
even
sing
find
the
it.
song. Just sing the song and you're good.
I don't even know what song you're talking about.
You never sang the state song?
I'd never even heard the state song. No. Are you not going to?
I thought about it. And I'm like, I haven't drinking enough to do it.
It's one thing to know as far as like your education around history or geography. It's one thing to know dates. It's one thing to know where something is located. It's a whole other thing to know what their culture is like.
Yeah.
So
I definitely got a little bit of taste for their culture. And the one thing that made me mad is they told me I can't give any of them money because, like, we went on this whole tour around the village. Like, got to see their schools, like, hang out with all these kids. And, like, dude, I am just, like, in complete awe and love of all these kids. I'm, like, hanging out to them. I'm just, like, fucking start handing them money. They're like, no, you can't do that. That ruins the economy. I'm here. And I'm like, what? I was like, nah. I was like, they're getting money. They're buying shit. So yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
Good. It's like an influx of money coming in. Could throw it all off.
Whatever. These kids are gonna go buy like fucking 100 pounds of candy, probably. So it's all good.
Now the candy market has just been ruined.
and did the kids not just come up to you, just flock to you?
Yeah. No, they're awesome.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, they love seeing people. They love meeting people, and like here they're taught stay the fuck away. Especially if they got candy.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, definitely things are different there, but the culture there is a lot different. They're more welcoming to be like family oriented and things like that, more friendly with people overall. And I definitely, man, I had a great time there. It definitely was one of the best times. So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I seen you skydive now. That's impressive because that is something I would never do in my life.
Yeah. Well, when I said earlier that fears are meant to be conquered, I still get a little queasy with heights. Even a lot of rooftop bars. I even have friends with like a rooftop patio. I'm still getting over there and I was like, what if I fall off of that? Or if I see somebody else, like, what if somebody jumps off that? That's going to freak me out.
Mm-hmm.
But with skydiving I was like, okay, every now and then when I'm on the plane, I still get a little queasy about flying. So I'm like, oh, I'm up in the air. If something happens, what can be done? I've never been in an emergency situation like that before. Right. But with skydiving, the worst part is that plane. It is the scariest plane to be on in life. It's shaken. It's not a perfectly good plane. So when people say, why would you jump out of a perfectly good plane? Well, it's not a perfectly good plane, first and foremost.
I mean, it got you up there and it's going back down just fine.
That's why they do it. They're like, if you don't jump, we're going to go down anyways. We're crashing here soon. This plane wasn't meant to go longer.
Yeah. Essentially, I was like, yeah, here it goes. But I jumped with a tandem And I just wanted to conquer that fear of heights. And I watched stuff all the time, like bungee jumping when I was a kid. We weren't allowed to ski growing up.
Ski?
We weren't allowed to ski. I went skiing for the first time this year. So my dad knows somebody that personally lost a limb from skiing. Yeah. So because it was so
that was it. No skiing for nobody.
no skiing. Yeah. He was so traumatized by it. We didn't.
Like they hurt their leg or arm so bad they had to cut it off or something, or like
They had to get it amputated, their leg.
dang.
I'm willing to bet somebody lost an eyeball with a stapler, so probably stay away from those two.
Yeah.
Paper clips, that's it.
Yeah.
Dude, skiing is a tough one. I was in Colorado for 10, 11, 12, 13 years, and I went skiing for the first time like a couple years ago. I was not good at it.
It takes a minute.
I would never skydive. I would never. I will
Jordan
die
wants
a wuss.
Now, I'll tell you this.
I'm like, I can't.
When you get out of that plane, you forget you're skydiving. You really do. You feel like you're kind of like a machine or something.
I bet
you're human. You're flying.
Yeah, I mean,
Really
you
in the
forget you're
air?
skydiving and remember you're about to die. That's
Swimming in
all.
the sky?
This is it.
This is how I go.
And I think that's why I'm such an adrenaline junkie, because I like doing things that make me forget that, instead of quote unquote, staying grounded, I like to do things that just make me forget I'm human.
I mean,
Skydiving is one of them.
kudos to you, because it takes guts, and I certainly have none of it. I would have, tandem too, because like you're strapped to the front of somebody. I would have pissed that person off by crapping all over them probably. I would have been absolutely terrified. Like I literally would think, like, right when we jump, like, all right, parachute's not coming out. I'm going full force, like, as you can clearly see, I am going full force towards the Earth's surface.
Yeah.
With nothing to stop me.
What's the other one? Paragliding or the sail or whatever?
I want to do that so bad.
What about
That
the
looks
guy?
cool.
The guy that the dude didn't strap him in properly, so literally he was in the air and he started to fall, and he like held on and like literally like held on for life as they were flying, and they got down, and the guy like had to have surgeries all on his like arms and stuff because he like held so much that it like messed his arm up. Like the dude literally would have died if he would have let go. They were like hundreds of feet in the air, and this
They had
guy
to cut his arm off from the fucking
like,
strap.
Bro, they like literally had
He
to
would
like
let go.
they had to, dude, it was insane. I was like, how? Like, man. Yeah, so no skydiving, no paragliding, whatever it's called. I'm good. I'll leave that to people that want to fly.
I would love to fly, and especially with those squirrel suits, those things look badass. The things those people do.
Scary.
Terrifying.
You're going even
I would
faster,
never do them, but they just look so cool.
And they go through like the mountain holes like that are tiny, and they like
If I have lived to be 90 years old and I feel like, you know what?
today's the
I'm
day.
ready. I'm going. I'm going to go fly that day off the highest place I can go. So I can just be like, yeah, I lived a good life. You know, did all this, I did all that. And I'm like, oh, here's the mountain. Like, that's it.
Well, most people die. We talked about Mount Everest
Yeah.
and getting up, and they say our bodies are not meant to be over 26,000 feet in elevation. Well, they say the biggest thing with that is the mindset, because when they get to the very last peak, very last top, you're going to walk over dead bodies. They don't even pick those dead bodies up. They just leave them on the mountain because they have no way of transporting them down. I said, yeah, I'm not climbing over dead bodies to get somewhere.
Mm-mm.
It's true. I mean, that's definitely something too. Like, when you think about it, all data has been collected based on the mindset of having limitations. If we erase somebody's mindset to like just really think that they can do anything and everything, I bet you humans could be pretty fucking capable of some impressive stuff. But our minds definitely get in the way. That's why we can't figure this damn brain out.
So I don't even use it.
Yeah.
Complex. complex. It's pretty interesting for sure.
Yeah.
But man, I will say it has been an absolute pleasure having you on, and I mean we hope to have you back sometime and maybe even like
Absolutely.
get some mindless budget advice. That would be
Yeah.
There we go.
And that's the thing with like mindset. Budgeting is so simple for me.
Yeah.
Because I just take time each week, write out your expenses and be realistic about it. And also don't be afraid to say no.
Yep. That's
To certain things. One. Yeah. Especially you get a pushy salesperson, you get, your friend emails you about the company they joined and it's not a product you don't want to buy, say no.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there's just a lot of things about it, but yeah, I love being on the show with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a good time. And I mean, like I said, we look forward to having you back, and definitely we will. Actually, I have one last question. I'm so sorry.
Hey, go ahead.
Have you ever gone into like the super like coupon clipping? Does that help or?
Ooh, crazy coupon.
Yeah.
Crazy coupon. I've never been a crazy coupon lady.
No.
I am an Amazon Prime person, but my way is buy what you need and what you want. Don't buy something just because it's on sale. I'm a minimalist. I don't like having stuff that I don't need in my house.
Right.
Then it's food. I buy toilet paper when I need it. I didn't run out during the pandemic last year, thankfully, but I'm not the kind of person to stock up on stuff either.
Right. Well, ignore all these things in the background. These are just survival.
No, that kind of looks cool,
not
though.
souvenirs and toys.
It's all for survival.
Just stupid stuff.
I used to collect shot glasses when I went to new places. No, I don't even do that. I just take a bunch of pictures on my phone.
Yeah, you could take a picture of every shot glass they have, and then it's almost the same.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you just, when you pour it into your glass, pull up the picture. Yeah.
Oh man, awesome. Well, yeah. So, and for everybody listening, watching, all links for Ella will be in the description below, as always. So you can find her, follow her, that.
Check her out. Go click the links. Do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Come find me.
Stay mindless.
Stay mindless,
everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Mindless Morning Show. We appreciate you picking us out of the many great podcasts out there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell to get notified whenever we release a new episode or bonus content. Now go enjoy the rest of your mindless day.